We're back with Marty. And Marty, Wild GM Bill Guerin was asked on a podcast about the Kirill Kaprizov report last night. So 8 years, $60 million per, getting rejected. He didn't deny it. Marty, how crazy could this deal get?
Well, it could get very crazy because Kirill Kaprizov is a fantastic hockey player. Now, over the last 4 seasons, he's 6th in the NHL in points per game. The only 5 guys ahead of him are McDavid, McKinnon, Draisaitl, Kucherov, and David Pastrnak was basically the same, 1.28 to 1.27. But none of those guys make over $14 million. Draisaitl is the highest paid. Now we all get McDavid's going to be making way more than that. But if you're Kirill Kaprizov and you're looking around and you're saying, I want 16% of the cap, I want 17% of the cap, I want more. None of these guys are making that money, and they're all ahead of Kirill Kaprizov. So I think that this will get a little dicey because if you're Bill Guerin in the Minnesota Wild, you can say, we love you, you're great, but these 4 or 5 other guys are ahead of you, and you got to fall into place. So I think that the number at the end may dictate if Kaprizov is saying, I'm out, or if the Minnesota Wild are going to cave in and give him the money. But you can't compare Kaprizov to McDavid and Draisaitl and McKinnon. That's not possible. So I think that's what he's doing right now, and that's a big stretch.
Yeah, it is. And it is a bit of a head scratcher. Like in the NBA, we see lots of stars and even some players below that tier take max deals. And then in the NHL, it seems the best players always leave money on the table. As you mentioned, these 4 or 5 players ahead of Kaprizov. Now, the max is 20% of the salary cap. Could Kaprizov or a player like him finally break the ceiling and start saying, yeah, I'm taking every penny I'm worth?
Well, I think where I can see this as a possibility is because the cap is going to go up. And I know players are not supposed to talk to other teams and agents aren't supposed to talk to other teams, but they all can see that teams like Pittsburgh and Anaheim and Chicago and Columbus right now all have over $13 million of cap space for this year. So that's going to be a huge number next year. So you can all look at it and say, hey, you're going to have 30, 40 million to spend. How about you spend 18 or 19 million on Kirill Kaprizov? Let's make a splash. Let's go. So that is why I think that it's possible for players like Kaprizov and many others that are not the top echelon, but they're right there to be able to say, hey, we want more money because the cap is going to go up. There's going to be plenty of teams that are going to have the cap flexibility to be able to do it. It's a supply and demand type of situation. And if you have that flexibility, well, you can throw it out. So I think for the league, it's going to be very interesting. This last free agent frenzy wasn't great because all the teams signed their own players. But next year, there's going to be some players that are going to say, I can make way more money somewhere else. And that is why free agent frenzy, July 1, 2026, is going to be so exciting.
We're already counting down. And Marty, let me give you some of the exact numbers. The max contract right now would be $19.1 million per season. If those pending UFAs like Kaprizov, McDavid, Eichel, Panarin were to wait and ask for the full 20% when the cap goes up next year, the max raises to $20.8 million a year.